This is where the fun begins.
Why, hello, everyone, and welcome to a Thursday morning coffee chat, your favorite morning show here. And I have my co-pilot with me, Stig Kenobi. How are you doing?
I'm at 98% energy level, which is a couple of percent lower than your average Norwegian, but still doing well.
Okay, so why are you just a little bit lower than your average Norwegian?
That's private. I do not wish to discuss that.
Okay, well then maybe I think maybe we shouldn't go into that either. All right. So what are you enjoying this morning or this afternoon or evening over there? What are you enjoying drink-wise?
Some cheap Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Yeah. Really cheap. Actually, it's not Coca-Cola. It's just cola.
Okay. Yeah. So we have the evening cola drinker and the morning coffee drinker here on Coffee Chat. So looks like we are going to have people rolling in here pretty soon. So if you're in here, please press the like button and share the link so that people can come in and join. Sorry for last week. My internet was having trouble and I had to get stuff taken care of. And so basically technical difficulties prohibited me from being or having the show or even using my internet. So, all right. So we had Zacharot 315. Howdy, OG Stars. And we do have Galadron. I'm so sorry. Tongue twist there.
It says the Galadorn.
Galadorn. See, look at, I can't read sometimes. I swear to God. All right. So you guys in the chat and are viewing right now, watching as we begin the show, go ahead and share what you're enjoying, what beverage you're enjoying this fine morning. So, and Stig, do you have any announcements or news or anything you can think of?
Just that Star Wars just sucks even more now, the Disney Star Wars.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's nothing new, and I think that if you guys have been following us on Twitter, we've been sharing some crazy information about Obiwan possibly being in Andor series. And then also to, pronoun, being corrected in the High Republic. So if you're into the High Republic and stuff, then that's what's going on with that. Even though that these twins have hive mind and stuff like that, it was made to be corrected. The scene was made to be correction of a pronoun. So that was kind of weird. But so if you enjoy that, there you go. And then what else? I mean, there's so many other things going on. So we are coming back into the original lore, our AKA Legends, and we are going to review Republic number 68 and Visionaries, and it's the origin of General Grievous. So if you're interested and you loved his character in Clone Wars 03 and throughout the comics and as well as in the movies, then we are going to, read about his origins as well. So
yeah. Oh, Galadorn and the chat says it's from the Willow movie. I knew that. It's a castle.
Yeah.
In the Willow movie that gets destroyed by General Kale.
That's right. I have to watch the Willow movie again. I love that movie. That was so much
awesome.
Fun. It is. It is. What is your other favorite fantasy classic movies?
Conan the Barbarian, the first one.
Okay. All right.
Probably the best soundtrack in any movie.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna. I have not watched that in a very long time. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one now. I have to go back and watch that. So if you guys were in here, I have a new opening, an intro now. So it's I'm very proud of myself with it. Very classic Star Wars kind of intro and very fun. And probably within the month, I'll have a new outro, which will also display a lot of the original lore characters in the outro as well. So I think it's very fun. The Penguin, hello, how are you doing? After you guys are done reading Republic, what will you do next?
Well, we're ahead of you because we've been discussing that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and Stig and tell about it.
Well, the initial plan is to do some of the Empire comics because that wraps up some of the characters from the Clone Wars that doesn't get killed in Revenge of the Sith and stuff, and then move on to the 4 Rebellion omnibuses,
Mm-hmm.
and in one of them we get to see the Luke Skywalker revisit Jabim.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Oh yeah, it is definitely going to be loads of fun, because you get to see like how well the world building is, and between both eras of like time frames and stuff, and how everything's linked, and how like the consequences, like even with the Jabim one, how the consequences of the past affect the future. So and that's all I'm going to say about that. If you have not read the Luke Skywalker Jabim one, then that's going to be a fun treat.
You know what would be fun sometime?
What's that?
We just do a Star Wars coffee chat, and without saying anything, we just do like a Donald Duck comic or something.
Something that's way off than Star Wars.
Yeah.
We should. Well, April Fools. We'll see.
April Fools is on a Thursday. Just saying.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
I just checked.
Holy shit. Oh, that's going to be a fun coffee chat.
Yeah, just do a couple of really retarded comics that has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah. All right, we have Jefferson W. Good morning. Still making my coffee. Awesome. Nice hot brewed coffee. Yes, the best. And then we have lovely Miss Martin Muses. Hello, how are you doing? A hand wave and a rose.
Hello, Miss Martin. Mm-hmm. See, I can do Cockney accents.
There we go.
Hello,
that kind of looks weird. Yeah, that kind of looks weird with your old man Kenobi avatar, and that voice does not match.
Well, that makes it more fun, doesn't it?
It's kind of like, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So
I'm Kenobi now.
You should talk like that to the whole thing today.
No.
Oh, you got to be 100% in your, I guess, energy level to do that, right? Because you're only like what, 98%?
Yeah.
To Norwegian standards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So those who are tuning in, what are you enjoying in your mug this morning? So what favorite beverage? And I also encourage you guys, if you have the comics that we're reviewing, to also, as you're watching, have them with you so you can, flip through the pages yourself and, enjoy as well. Almost like a read along, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
That's makes it fun. Having your snack, coffee or drink, and your comic during this time frame. It just sounds like a nice, cozy morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world today.
You know what you should do? You should get like a mouse pointer app thing that looks like a finger. So when you're pointing at the comic, it's a finger.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I should change the point to a finger. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right, Miss Martin Muses says vanilla coffee. That sounds great.
Speaking of Jabba the Hutt's wife, here's Mary.
Oh my God. Hi, Mary. How are you doing? I'm awake. Wow. Yes, you usually are sleeping through the morning, or you're almost afternoon there now. I am so glad you are here, darling. And then Gilladorn, destroying my body with energy drinks. Well,
I don't need that. I have Norwegian genes. I don't need energy drinks.
You are just too full of yourself, Stig.
Well.
Well.
It has to go somewhere.
Straight to your head. All right, let's see who else is here before we get these comics going. Oh, yeah. Wow.
You have a super duper thing.
Yeah, a super sticker, which I cannot see what it is because I don't have another screen open to see what it is. But we have Roger Haynes, Canadian 199 super sticker. So thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you guys' support. I also offer membership here. I have not done anything yet for our members in here, so I need to do something fun for you guys. So I am plotting and thinking and planning on doing something fun here soon. So
Speaking of things that people that do a lot for members, there's Ayla Secura.
oh yeah. Yeah, Ayla. And then me and Stick and I were talking because I do have an extra copy of Star Wars Tales from Mos Eisley Cantina. So maybe I will do something fun, like a drawing or something. Maybe we'll do a quiz or something fun. And I don't know exactly how I would arrange or do that. So I'm going to talk with Stig with ideas. And whoever wins will get that copy of the Tales from Mos Eisley. It's a Legends, our original lore book.
Yeah, I have an idea. Whoever gives me the most money gets it.
No, darling.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, and then the stories, the authors that are contribute to is Kevin J. Anderson, Doug Beeson, Shane Bell, David Bischoff, A.C. Crispin, Kenneth C. Flint, Barbara Hambley, Rebecca Moesta, Daniel Keys Morin, Jerry Ocean, I can't even say that, Judith and Garfield Reeve Stevens. And so we have also Kathy Tyers, Tom Veitch, and Martha Veitch, Dave Wolverton.
Kathy Tyers is always on a roll.
Yes. And then we have Timothy Zahn too. So these are the authors that contribute to stories in the Tales from Mos Eisley Cantina. So I do have an extra copy. So maybe I will figure out to do something fun for the channel and see how we can, if you guys want to, if you like competition and stuff and want to earn that book. Miss Martin Muses, oh my God.
First one to kill a kitten gets the book.
Oh my, no, no, Stig, that is, no. I do not agree with you, sir. That's heinous, cruelty animals, no. All right. Okay, so let's ignore what he just said. And let's get into the comics. And so our characters in this one here, and this one's called Armor, we have Master N, so he's another Jedi Master. We have Ayla Secura and her commando, ARC Commander Bly. And what's so fascinating about that is that, he's one of the ARC troopers that was trained by Jango Fett himself, I believe.
Yeah, and spoilers for Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. That's one of the guys who shoots her.
Yeah. Exactly. And we also have Quinlan in here, so we have some of the characters that everybody knows and loves and stuff. And this story is basically in Commander Bly's perspective, or you can hear, you will experience what's going on in his head and what he thinks about everything. And I think that this is a great comic to really get into, this one right here, number 68, because it when you watch Attack or Revenge of the Sith and stuff, you kind of get a perspective of like what some of these commanders, these ARC troopers are thinking.
I always thought Ayla Secura should be in 69.
What? Why is that?
Number of the comic.
Because of the number of the comic?
It's a dirty joke. Sorry.
I know. That's why I said because of that. All right, Miss Martin Muses, he's just trying to get my cat killed. I know.
You're damn right, Miss Martin.
And I do not put up with that shit, Stig. I do not. That's very off-putting for,
you haven't heard that cat.
You
haven't,
you rebel scum.
That cat is a menace.
Oh my goodness. Stig, I don't know what to do about you sometimes. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the comic here. Let me click on the right one. Let me get this a little bit bigger here. So this one again is number 68 of the Republic comic Armor. And so we have Bly here and we have Ayla here. So I really love this picture right here. Very well done.
Yeah, it's a really good cover.
Mm-hmm.
You could say Ayla Secure is a cover girl.
There we go. She is a cover girl. She's a gorgeous.
Yes,
she's gorgeous. All right. So here we go. So we have him here. And if you guys have this comic, please read along here. I don't want to read every single thing here, but all these little green boxes basically is Bly's perspective here of what's going on in the moment, what he's thinking. And this is a very good continuity tie-in. They are on Honoghr. And if you guys have read Heir to the Empire, Thrawn Trilogy, Honoghr is the planet of the Noghri.
Yep.
So we are seeing the results of the fight above Honoghr with two ships during the Clone Wars. And I think they were both, let me see here. I didn't write the notes down for that one. But basically they were fighting over getting I believe it is the scientific instrument package or something over the planet, and they destroyed each other, and you could see the battle right here.
Yeah, there's the Republic cruiser.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes. And they destroyed each other on above the planet, and the chemicals from and everything from the ships, polluted and leaked down onto the planet and destroyed the planet. If you have not read our Thrawn Trilogy, I don't know what your problem is. You need to read it, but there's a spoiler.
Yeah,
that's the most read series or trilogy in the EU.
Stuff. This is my, old fans get pissy and extra pissy with Disney. Okay. It's because we're used to continuity like this. We took it for granted because the people who wrote stuff back in the day like this actually, took great care with the continuity.
Yeah. Well, the company who did this, who took, George's company back then, they seen fans as sophisticated and wanting the continuity and wanted the tie-ins and stuff like that. That's why they also did it. They could have strayed and did like Star Trek and did spin-offs or, standalones that don't even tie into anything, or don't have that continuity and stuff like that and create a multiverse. But Star Wars, during George Lucas' time when he owned it, they realized, like Leland Sheen, Sue Rustoni and all them, they realized that we wanted a continued history and tie-in and good continuity, and that's what they did. They did really excellent, mind you. Yeah, it wasn't perfect. There were still retcons they had to take care of, but they were very minor. And
you have probably 200 books, maybe more, and you have over 1,000 comics.
Yeah.
So of course there's going to be some continuity mistakes. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what Disney's given us.
Yeah, exactly.
Disney scrapped everything except for the movies, and so all they had to worry about was the movies.
Exactly.
And yet from the get-go, they couldn't do continuity.
Yeah, correct. And then, from what, the EU helped, tie in between the movies and what have you, now they have they have to fix everything again that, the movies themselves, may have not done well. And they're not handling that well either. So, here we go. So if you enjoy Disney Star Wars, have at it. If you're on the fence and enjoy both sides, good for you. I like remaining in George Lucas' era of Star Wars because the stories and everything tie, and it's like 25,000 plus years of history that are all tied in somehow in some way, shape, or form. So
yeah, actually, I just read the Dawn of the Jedi omnibus, which is set 25,000 years, I think, before Episode 1.
Yeah,
and that one ties very well into Knights of the Old Republic, the game. Because it has a lot about the race that created the Star Forge.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And the Jedi are not Jedi at the moment. They're called Jedi or something, but they don't have the philosophy or anything. It's so very early days. So they use the dark side and the light side willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Because they simply don't know any better.
Yeah, and what I think after that, and as you read further into the timeline towards, the PT and all that, or even the Old Republic, is when they start establishing, oh wow, if you use the dark side, this is what happens, kind of deal. So you see the evolution of the Jedi.
Yeah,
So
and from what I could understand on that one, they exiled Jedi that
yeah,
went too far to the dark side.
yeah, the exile.
On one of the to one of the moons of Tython.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think the moons were like what were their names? They had two moons.
Yeah, one was light, one was dark.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and come back to this present moment here in the comics here. So again, this is Nogri. This is the chemical ship that was dropped down and made the planet toxic, and how we see it in the Thrawn trilogy. So a great tie-in right here. We get to see world building going on right here, and why and what happened. So
and this comic was released 10 or 15 years after the Thrawn trilogy. And they still kept the continuity.
Right. Correct. And so look, it was a beautiful forest, swamp forest kind of planet. And, when we see it in Thrawn, it's basically barren with barely any patches of, grass or plants growing. So, all right. So we move on. And again, I said, like I said, if you have this comic, you go ahead and read along here. But these little black boxes are basically what Bly is experiencing, his thoughts of what's going on here. And they're on a mission to retrieve the SIP, or the scientific instrument package. That's what they're there for, without the Nogri knowing.
Yeah, and you have another Jedi called, I can't see what it's called because it's not zoomed in enough.
It is Jedi Reiki N. So Jedi N. So that's what I have him down as, just Master N.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's him right here, as you can tell.
Looks emo. Don't like him at all.
You don't like him at all?
No, it looks like a goth thing.
A goth thing? Okay.
Yeah, don't like him.
Okay. So I take it you don't like goth style people.
They tend to be emo.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, we all like and dislike certain type of characters.
They're like, I have such darkness on the inside. I must put up makeup.
All righty, let's just move on here. So General N is in the temple where they're supposed to go and get the SIP here. And so when you read Thrawn trilogy and they go into their clan houses, I guess, and when Princess Leia was reading about their history and story on the wall, we don't before this comic, because like I said, I'm reading the comics, I've never collected them, so this is kind of like a little continuity jewel, is that I try to imagine what the walls look like with their hieroglyphs of like the evolution of their people that Princess Leia read. And so this is basically what it would kind of look like, maybe different since the time frame is further along in Heir to the Empire kind of deal, but are in Thrawn trilogy. So this is their little temple here for the Nogri.
Yeah. And the Nogri takes out the clone trooper right away. And then they seem to hack the other guy to pieces.
Yep.
As they flood it.
Yep. They are ruthless here.
Yep.
And here we go. So here we go. We have the clone troopers helmets hung up there. In the temple, they take them out. I mean, these, we know that the Nogri were great warriors, great assassins, very honed in on their, skills, sensory skills as well. Very stealthy. That's why the Emperor liked them. And kind of, and I'm going to do another spoiler, came in, they sent in Vader to say, we'll help you fix your planet. And they made a deal with them. And if, in return, we want your sons to be our assassins and stuff like that. So very sad story when it comes to the Nogri. They didn't know that they were being played. They were ignorant about it. Do you have anything to say about this?
You could say the same about Bly and Sakura as well.
True. So do you have anything else to add to the scene here?
No, I think it's awesome because it showcases the threat of the Nogri.
Exactly.
You know, they've taken out clone troopers. They took out a Jedi almost immediately.
Yeah.
And then you have Ayla Secura walking right into it.
Exactly. They're secretly going in. They're trying to be discreet before the Nogri find out because, of course, the other master failed. She's going in now. And let's get into this. And boom, they're like, we need to get in without being noticed. And she's like, it's too late, and so now they're countering the fire and all that. And, of course, we see a lot of action going on here. And what else here? I think this is self-explanatory. So they're making their way in to get what is the SIP, our scientific instrument package. So
yeah, action happens. Clone troopers being killed.
Exactly. Another, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. And then we have, Bly with his, his thoughts again. What's going on. Basically, they knew the drill last man assumes a defensive position. So he's thinking to himself, what's going on here?
Yeah, and you have, that shot of the Nogri coming out of the alcove above them. It's a little bit like, Aliens, the movie, when the xenomorphs kind of come out of the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
Oh, nice catch. I didn't think about that when I read it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good indeed. So,
game over, man. Game over.
Game over, right? Yeah, and look at he's like all slobbering and stuff right there. That's crazy. That's kind of gives the chill factor. And we all know ARC troopers have special paint, and armor and stuff like that compared to the regular clone troopers and stuff. So we have Bly behind her. He's like, orders, General. And then she says, they don't take prisoners. Bly, attack. So they know that they're just going to be killed if they don't defend themselves.
Yeah.
And then we still have action going on. We have, what a Nogri looks like right here. If you guys haven't seen one yet, we have, they look, I don't know. What do you think they look like? They almost, I know you said you didn't like the way they look or something when we were talking behind the scenes our last night about this comic.
Yeah, I never liked the Nogri.
Okay.
I don't mind their culture really, but they always seemed too primitive for highly trained assassins because they're technologically inferior, and but it's not like I don't want them to be in Star Wars or anything, right? Because they belong and all. It's just how you're feeling about them or what you think about them. Yeah, and then you have Quinlan shooting the guy, I believe, in the back that's attacking Ayla.
Yeah.
Because his gun is smoking.
Exactly. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to go back to my screen of the comic here. Yeah, so basically they get help, and she's like, whoever you are, we're grateful for the assist, but walk forward slowly. So she's like very cautious. She's like, what the hell's going on here? Because they're not expecting anybody else, really.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we have Quinlan Voss. So her master, one of her masters that trained her. So the one, and he did recruit her, right? He's the one who brought her in to the fold of the Jedi. And then so, basically, Bly, he's very cautious because he's only dedicated to Ayla and the mission. That's what clone troopers and in ARC troopers a little bit more. They're not as programmed, genetically programmed as the regular clone troopers. And I'm not going to discuss the chips because I do not consider them in the story here.
Yeah, and the chips were never a thing until Filoni decided, they should have chips in their head. But Bly is kind of under orders to take out Quinlan because Quinlan is listed as a traitor at this point.
Yeah, he's the enemy, and anybody that's the enemy needs to be taken out. So he will protect Ayla, the rest of the troops, as well as their mission by taking out the enemy as well. And
Quinlan, certainly did turn to the dark side quite a few times. So his, even the readers don't really know at this point,
Yeah.
If he's gonna completely turn or if he's gonna turn back or whatever's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's tainted right now. He's
Yeah.
tainted. And even, Ayla is doubting him, and Bly senses that, I this doesn't feel right. So this is a very interesting little back and forth that he has with Ayla about Quinlan right here.
I was reading these comics as they came out.
Yeah.
So I had no clue what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Most of them came out before Revenge of the Sith, I think.
Hmm.
So Order 66 had a hell of a lot more impact when you'd read the comics because of Ki-Adi-Mundi and Ayla Secura and stuff.
Yeah, because we get into the backstory and the relationships with their ARC troopers.
Yeah. So way more fleshed out. And I think they did a good job with that because if you didn't read up on the expanded universe at the time, you'd still have an awesome Order 66 sequence, right?
Correct.
But with the expanded universe, that scene got expanded because the characters that got killed were characters you'd probably been following for the last 5 or 6 years, actually.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very good example of expanded universe because it just expands the impact of that scene.
Yeah, it enriches it even more. It puts more feelings, even though you don't need to read it to experience it and I'll have the feelings for it, just makes it more deeper.
Yeah.
And more impactful, I guess you can say. So basically, Quinlan is pleading for himself. She's like, I already heard your story from Thom, Master Thom. And he's like, I have to do what I have to do to get behind the scenes, to learn more about Dooku and find out who the other Sith is. So he is stuck between the light and the dark, I guess you can say, in that area.
Yeah, and that does not make him a great Jedi.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
That just makes him a troubled Jedi.
Exactly. He has a lot of troubles. He's not making the right decisions, and he's doing things that go against even moral standards and stuff. Even if you don't even consider, Jedi, the Jedi, I wouldn't say code, but their just their ways of, the morality and stuff. And
it's more a case of him slowly sacrificing himself for the greater good.
Exactly. And it's even tugging at his own morals and stuff.
Yeah, he's already killed his aunt.
Exactly, and another master. So
he didn't kill a master, did he?
Jedi, maybe a Jedi Knight. Was it who did he kill, or was it a dark Jedi? I forget.
Yeah, he's killed a dark Jedi, but that worked for Dooku, but he hasn't killed a Jedi. He did injure that big, pig-like Jedi.
Yeah, Maruk or something like that. His name is.
Yeah, Rook.
All right, so she gives in. He pleads. She's still cautious, but she starts giving in. And you could see him struggling. You could see in this demeanor. This is why I love this artwork in here, because you could see emotion. The artwork eludes, gives us the emotion of the character. And so he's like, he's walking. He basically says, "I walk a razor thin line, trying to keep it." So he goes, "But I swear to you, I am still a Jedi. I work for the Republic. You're the only one I can trust right now. The only one I can hope will trust me. Please believe me." And so she's over here really she really wants to believe him, but she also has her intuition and the Force telling her, otherwise. But she gives in. And so this is, like I said, it's a very emotional. What's going to happen next? You will find out. But Bly, and you could see from his mask, he got hit in the mask right here. There's another picture that has a more close up here. He is like, he's basically like, I need to protect my my general, and the people here. So Bly is not wanting to really follow orders, but he needs to because that's who he is. But he doesn't trust Quinlan. So, and you could see right here where he holds up the the gun against, Quinlan's, the blaster rifle against Quinlan right there, because he doesn't trust him. And she's like, stand down, Bly, So very emotional, like, pull here on with Quinlan and the trust and all that. So, and you can see right here, Bly, here's his, he did get hit in the mask. And this is why this is called armor, because he's like, he contemplates like, armor in this kind of sense, and then armor in how a Jedi is supposed to be. There's a lot of philosophy going on in here about that. So
and these armors and the stormtrooper armors are actually powered armors.
Yeah,
they have that box on the back. You see it on the stormtroopers. It's what it does is, if they're in the on Tatooine, the inside of the armor will cool.
Yeah.
To adjust for the temperature change. So, and all kinds of little things like that. And, they have a comm link built in the helmet.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So,
yeah. And I think it stays true with the stormtroopers as well, because when you read Tatooine Ghost, they use a stormtrooper armor to cool down, spoilers, to cool down Han Solo during an event. But I'm not going to go past that. You need to read it. If you haven't read it, go and read it. And that's all I'm going to say. So even though they switch from clone troopers to stormtroopers, the armor doesn't really change much.
Yeah, the stormtrooper armor is probably more advanced.
Correct.
Not by much, I think, but
yeah,
just a little bit.
Correct. And so, again, we have his thoughts about it. The helmet's not much good to me anymore. Can do much if you can't see straight. Armor's a help, but all armor has flaws. And so this is where he begins his philosophy, like the flaws of Jedi and the flaws of the armor and the flaws of the clones and blah, 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 blah. So we get a lot of his thoughts and his perspective on what's going on in this comic, which I think is very, very interesting, because we always want to see, we want to know what the clone troopers are thinking during this time.
Yeah.
And their perspective. So this gives you that.
And it also shows off their blind loyalty.
Yes, exactly.
Which ties into the Jango Fett stuff, because he's, and Boba Fett inherits this. It's like, if they get a job, they do it. Doesn't matter. So when the clone troopers have inherited that, and that's why Order 66 kicks in.
Yeah,
because they're like, they don't question orders; they do it.
Exactly.
There was never any chip.
Yeah. Yeah. And down here we have them going head to head again. He's still questioning Quinlan Vos because he's loyal to Ayla. Then Ayla also is, in a sense, loyal to Quinlan. There's that that triangle of relationship of loyalty versus, not trust and stuff like that going on there. So let's go ahead and move on. All right. So they get discovered here. So we have, again, he's, thinking about the situation, or, contemplating and stuff, and, doing what he does best, is, responding and protecting and completing his mission right here. So you have anything you want to say about the scene, Stig?
No, all kinds of cool action, great artwork, Ayla Secura. She tends to be jumping a lot. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
She's quite often upside down in the air and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. She's very agile.
She doesn't stand still.
No, not much. All right. And so we're moving on here. And of course, Quinlan kills a Nogri here, and they pursue and are they, continue on with their mission. But basically, Quinlan, okay, so I didn't get into this, but Quinlan is there to get the scientific instrument package as well. And
yeah, he wants it for Dooku.
Yeah, correct. And so he says, maybe, I'll help you. And what I'll say is I got there too late. That's what he tells Ayla. That's how he convinces her. And so we're going to go on with the story, but so there's a quick note that I forgot to touch on in, from the previous pages, to how he convinces her to trust them, and that he says that, oh, well, I'll help you, and I'll just tell Dooku that I got there too late and it was already taken. So that's how he convinces her. So now they're going to the door where everything is kept. Of course, we have Bly still not trusting. Look at his face. He doesn't trust. And, and they're telling how, like, if they activate it, they're sensing if they activate it, like the poison darts will hit them if they go in.
Which is a little Indiana Jones-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Jones 1, the poison darts coming out of the walls, the idol.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so what they do is that he uses his psychometry to, find how they can open up the door, and then they decide to use the Force to retrieve the SIP, basically the scientific instrument here. And so they have Bly, stand guard while they, complete their mission on obtaining the SIP. Right there. So that's what's going on in here. And of course, we have his thoughts, Bly's thoughts again on what's going on. So if, again, read it. I'm not going to read through all of them. So, oh yeah, and one more thing. And so here she is. She is summoning, or she's, having Force. She's having the SIP instrument that they're looking for, come to her hand through the Force. So she's using the Force to retrieve it. So. Yeah. And then he says he can't read to how to close the door. So that's interesting. So
which is maybe because whoever did it died.
Maybe.
Because it didn't get to close the door or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And who knows? And so they retrieve it, and I don't understand.
They jump away because the traps get triggered.
That's right. All right.
And they jump away and goes full. Have you seen those Resident Evil movies where Mila Jovovich always dodges shit in slow motion?
Yeah, kind of like a Matrix kind of deal.
Yeah, that's kind of like what's going on.
Yeah, that's what's going on. And he's not trusting the situation, so he's got himself ready to go here. Right? And he basically says, he's Ayla, tell me that you got it. And, so she confirms and stuff. And they're happy they survived, and Bly's in the background right there. He's cautious and he's skeptical through this whole thing because he feels he can't trust Quinlan. So I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, he's basically caught between two orders. It's follow his general or follow the Republic. Which he probably has a shoot on sight thing for Quinlan was.
Yeah, exactly. And then here we go again. So we have them. They're escaping, and basically Quinlan was telling them, if you follow me, we will get out easy. And blah 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 blah. So, but they come to a cliff here, and you could still see the chemicals from that ship. You could still see a lot of toxins going on and destroying the planet. So this is like the early phases of the the Honoghr being destroyed from that chemical ship. So we have them escaping, and basically, Quinlan leaves them to a dead end, I guess you can say, and he gives Ayla an ultimatum. And I can drop you off at a planet. You give me the scientific instrument package. I'll drop you off at a planet. We'll call it even. Blah 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 blah. Because he doesn't want to kill her, really. And so I thought that was interesting. But she's like looking at him like, you are going against what you told me, basically about what we agreed. So we have that conflict, and he lights his saber, and of course it's red. Look at that, it's red. Kind of tells where he's at.
Well, he got Darth Undedu's crystal.
Yeah, correct.
In the previous comic.
Yeah.
Darth Undedu is the one Darth Bane was trying to learn from, or rather, he wanted to learn from his teachings to prolong his life.
Yeah.
Basically, where the whole Sith wanting to live forever started.
Exactly.
So it actually, that lightsaber crystal ties into the Bane comic, which
yeah,
is
the holocron that came with it, because it came
Yeah,
it
and
came out of the holocron, right?
yeah, and I think this comic came out quite a few years before the Bane trilogy, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So they tied the Bane comic into, the Bane novels into this comic.
Yeah. Imagine that, tying the past and tying the future together in this comic.
And Galadorn in the chat says, Anderu is undead.
Yeah.
Which I noticed when I was reading the books. I thought it was cheesy. I mean, Darth Undeadu. I mean, the guy who lives forever. Kind of. I thought that was a bit, who's gonna kill him? Buffy.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
We're gonna cross franchises here. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so she's like, but you really have gone to the dark side. So basically she's telling him, you're
she's doubting it, and Bly's about to shoot. Quinlan tosses him into the brick thing.
Yeah, and there's Bly right here in the background right here. He basically says, I told you the truth. He goes, I'm still on the Republic side, but I need that sip. I have to keep Dooku's trust. It's the only way I can get close enough to learn the truth. So he's saying, I will do anything to get closer so I can find out who that Sith is. And so she questions him. She's like, you're thinking like a Sith.
He kind of is. But this tends to very much confuse the Jedi, because they just don't know.
Yeah.
If he's gone to the dark side or not, or if he simply has gone too far, and he probably doesn't know either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's dedicated the mission, and he's willing to sacrifice his well-being basically to get there. And you know what? I went and listened to Betrayal again to the last couple of days while I was working on school assignments and stuff. And this is something that's crazy. And I'm thinking, is this a continuity issue or what? But, Quinlan's trying to get close to Dooku to find out who the Sith is, who the master is. Cause they always come in two, right? Well, when, what's her name? Lumaya, there we go. Sorry. When she was talking to Jason Solo about, and manipulated him to, become a Sith and stuff, when she was doing that to him, she was talking about Vergere. And what she mentioned about Vergere is like, oh yeah, she got close to find out, to Dooku, and found out about Sidious so she could learn more about being trained by him. And I was like, well, why is it so hard for Quinlan to do that, but it was easy for Vergere?
Yeah, and also if here's a continuity issue. Lumaya trains Jason as a Sith, right? Well, she's not a Sith.
Yeah.
She could teach him in the dark side, but not Sith stuff. That's different.
Yeah. But we, that one right there, and how Jason turns, his reasons and all that, are kind of reminds me of Quinlan's stance in a sense, because he's thinking he's going dark, and he's thinking he's doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, I was having a Star Wars discussion with a couple of weeks ago. Pointed out that the same guy who wrote these comics also wrote the Legacy of the Force comics. Yeah, and Quinlan's story is it's very similar to Cade Skywalker's story. Yeah, both of them have a unique ability. They have this type of girlfriend. Both of them infiltrate the Sith in order to get something. Yeah. So they're walking that same fine line. Both of them tend to operate in the criminal underworld.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like he kind of, the legacy comic is just version 2.0 of Quinlan's story.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was interesting too on how that, like we have like between Quinlan and Cade Skywalker, we have very like I could just say roughneck rogue kind of people.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting. So we do have some more people, and we have like 17 in listening, watching. And so please hit that like button and share the link and encourage people to come in. This is an awesome comic and an awesome discussion. You are getting a lot of cross between continuity tie-ins here. So it's, and so if you're brand new or barely exploring the EU and coming to it because, this is where the heart of Star Wars is. And I admit it is where the heart of Star Wars is. It's a shame that the company present doesn't think so. A lot of fans are starting to turn to this. And so I welcome you guys to pick up these comics here and really get into it. Because once you start learning more about the continuity or about the EU, you're going to find these beautiful gems of how they cross, I guess you could say pollinate the continuity, from the past and present kind of deal. And this comic does it beautifully.
Yeah, and this is why a lot of Disney fans and even Filoni fans actually have started attacking the EU.
Yeah.
Because that's happened a lot in the last 6 months.
Yes.
And it's because more and more people are turning to this and they feel threatened by it.
Yeah.
Because this is clearly better. It's just better crafted.
Yeah. I got so many, I would say attacks or, whatever, when, mind you, I always compare and contrast between the both lores because we know original lore helped a lot of world building in Star Wars, which the new lore relies on or is supposed to rely on, at least those world building, right? That's created. So I pointed out Jan Ors, when she went to go meet with Mon Mothma and Leia, Luke Skywalker was in that meeting. She was so excited to actually see like Leia and Luke, even though she was an operative spy type person in the Rebel Alliance. She never worked with Luke Skywalker, but he was one of the top leaders. And even if she didn't work under him, she didn't know him personally, but she knew of him and what he looked like. And she was so excited to meet him and actually be in the same room with him. And so I pointed out that scene versus when we see Cara Dune.
And who doesn't even... She doesn't recognize Commander Luke Skywalker, who was one of the people in charge of the Endor mission, which she is a veteran of. She doesn't. And Luke Skywalker is the guy Princess Leia hangs out with all the time. The guy who rescued Princess Leia.
Her princess.
Yeah, and that's Cara Dune's princess. And she doesn't recognize the guy that's always next to her. Yeah. That's pretty thin.
Yeah. And so I pointed that out, and boy, did I, piss off some people. Mind you, I noticed when, and we'll get back to the comic. I'm sorry, we're kind of straying. But when people defend Luke Skywalker, from The Last Jedi versus the original Luke Skywalker, a lot of Luke's arc of him of him being loyal to everybody and stuff happens in the original EU more so. We only get to see the setup of him in the OT with his character and stuff. Yes, we already know that he is loyal, yes, from the movies, but we see more of the arc of what he would and wouldn't do in the EU. So they'll use that. Well, Luke will never do that. He would never turn his back on the galaxy, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of that is fleshed out in the EU. So they'll use that, but then, if you counter a favorite character, even like with Ahsoka, then you have people say, it's not canon, you can't use that, so I'm like, there's a contradiction in how people do that as well. I mean, I see the hypocrisy in that. But anyways.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so we'll go back to the comic here. So that was just my little rant on that. I always compare and contrast and say, you know what, it doesn't make sense because this is how it's supposed to be set up and how this is the direction they're going. It doesn't make sense. But then also shows that they don't want to put the light on Luke Skywalker. And we already know that from their materials. But let's go ahead. I digress. So we have Quinlan pushing, like Stig said, Bly up against the wall, because he does question everything. And of course, he's going to protect his general first and foremost as well. And also protect the Republic from the enemy. And Quinlan's the enemy. And then, he got a concussion. So basically he's over here hurting and he's thinking, he's got a lot of thoughts. He wishes he can move. I think he broke his arm in this too, because he can't move. He has a concussion. His arm, it got broken, so he could barely use it. So his response time was very slow, and he's like contemplating that in these little green boxes here. And he also is like, is this because of my concussion? I've seen Jedi fight, but I've never seen them fight each other. And he goes, and they're so fast, it looks like a blur. Is this my concussion? What's really going on here? Blah, 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 blah. So, we see his thoughts here as well as they fight. And, he's having a hard time because he broke his arm. He can't really lift up his rifle. So, and then of course we still have their action going on here. So he basically what tosses a lot of rocks or whatever against her, uses the Force to, impale her with rocks. And there's a lot of going on here, and he's really, basically tearing into Ayla here a bit.
Yeah, he a Soul Assassin wants you to zoom in on the top picture.
Hold on, let's see here.
We, unlike Disney, we listen to the fans. There you go, Soul Assassin, and the Apollo Patriot too.
Oh, okay. So we have two of them now, huh? They're multiplying.
This is getting out of hand.
And then, okay, so since we're zoomed in here, we have Bly's thought. I heard them fighting, so he's given his perspective of what's going on. And then Quinlan says the Republic will only use the SIP as some political tool. Try to show neutral systems what a bad man Dooku is. So we see him, he's faltering right there. He's faltering. And so that's an interesting little take from Quinlan. So, and is he Force choking her right here?
Yeah, a little bit, lifting her up.
Yeah, lifting her and everything. And so we have that, and she's finally on the ground here. So we have them, they're fighting. And then she's telling him, listen to yourself, Quinlan Vos. Every word, every move proclaims how deeply you have gone to the dark side, no matter how much you deny it. And so she keeps on talking to him. He's like, shut up, basically, telling her to be quiet.
Yeah, she doesn't stop yapping.
And so she keeps on talking to him, and he's like basically telling her to shut up, and she's like facing away from him, and she goes, basically, you will have to kill me. That's what you have said. So she's telling him, and so she's like basically waiting for him to kill her. She's using, I guess, a bit of mental psychology on him as well to kind of show him how far he's gone.
Yeah, it's like calling his bluff as it is, but he is starting to lose it though. He's volatile.
Exactly. And so they have their discussion here, and he goes, she goes, there's something more important than your mission, Quinlan, or Quinn, you. So basically she's like, you're most important here. We don't want you to turn. If it's compromising you, then this mission is not as important, is what she's trying to tell him. And then finally, Bly is able, with all his pain and stuff, he withstands and picks up his rifle and shoots him straight through the shoulder. Look at that.
Yeah.
Because he's so caught up in his emotions and stuff, he doesn't sense what's going on. And so Bly gets
he refused to shoulder the blame.
Right. And then so she's like, Bly, no. But basically, I think, Bly did what was necessary right there. I agree with him. I love Quinlan, but I agree with him. He could have, done a lot more. He could have, done a lot more. He could have, 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 he could have taken out Ayla. He could have friggin', killed her. So as far as he's gone. And Quinlan does escape. So we have that, of course. And so he leaves here, and she still has the SIP, the scientific instrument package. And they will, basically they'll be getting off planet here or whatever. So they're on their ship as well. And then Master Yoda gets the report here about it. So they think they've lost Quinlan right here. So they're it's confirming where he's headed to, or where he is at now. And so she continues to discuss with Master Yoda. So and basically he's like, she's denying him turning, but Master Yoda's like, the next time you see it, you probably won't even recognize him. And whatever. And she goes, as the Force wills, Master, basically, like agreeing with him some, I guess. But she still refuses to see. She still, there's part of her that believes that there's still good in him. So that's another whisper, another whisper back to Luke Skywalker right there. So you have anything you want to say about this, Stig?
No, it's a good standalone kind of comic. It's all about Bly though, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Rather from his perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to read this little box right here because I talked about the armor and his contemplation on like how the armor can be faulty and stuff. So he goes, I don't get it. We accomplished the mission, but the general acts like we failed. Was it the renegade? Was it that the renegade got away, or that he is an enemy? Can't she accept that and move on? Her connection with the renegade, it's a flaw in her armor. So that's, so he contemplates, like I said, he looks at everything, like, is her armor flawed, because his armor, failed on him. So I think that's an interesting perspective as well. So we get the conclusion of this very good story, ties back to, to other points in the timeline, the history of Star Wars. So great continuity connection there as well. So what do you think about this one here, Stig, about this comic here?
The next one?
No, the one that we just read. So how would you rate it? Or what are your thoughts before we move on to the next one?
I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Awesome. And then let me see here what's going on. Okay, let me go ahead and check the chat before we move on to the next one. The next one, if you guys are big fans of General Grievous, we get the origin story. So this is why we're premiering this one. We're not going to do the rest of the stories that leads up after that. We're going to, after this one next week, we're going to go to Comic Republic number 69. So, all right. And then Lady Tauriel, thank you for the close-up. So she's probably talking about when we did the close-up of Ayla.
Probably.
But also, too, she likes Quinlan, and so we need a close-up for the ladies, too. So maybe I'll go back and give a close-up. So Filoni has savaged the EU since he first started the first season of Clone Wars while stealing it from, so not surprised his fans are emo about the EU.
Yeah. What we need to remember, though, is a lot of the early 20s, people that are, between 25 and, and lower in age grew up with the Clone Wars, the animated show.
Yeah.
So that's the Star Wars they grew up with. And so it's probably tough to hear if, people going, yeah, it's shit because, and then people get defensive because people tend to, if you're critical of something people like these days, they take it as a personal attack.
Yeah.
Because that's how the new generation kind of is.
Yeah.
They're used to participation trophies, and then all of a sudden, someone criticizes something they like, and they react with without thinking, but with emotion.
Yeah.
That seems to be a thing. I mean, you see it on Twitter all the time.
Yeah.
It's where cancel culture comes from.
Correct. We have Open Airlock, or Tim. He says Cara wasn't at Indoor. I think he did a video on that. So was she? I forget now. Was she not on Indoor during the battle and afterwards for cleanup? Because that's the impression I got.
She was there for cleanup, but she would still know because she would get debriefed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how did Vader die? You know, because Vader and Palpatine are dead, and I'm pretty sure people would go, "Yeah, Luke was involved." You know, because he's the guy burning Vader. You know, Cara Dune probably cleaned up Vader's ashes.
Yeah.
Was there with a little tray and
Lumaya. Sorry, Lumaya did consider herself as a Sith. Yes, she did. You know, so I mean, but you know, Stig and I, like we were talking about her, was it last night as well? That I think
she's basically Ventress, because Ventress considered herself Sith too.
Yeah, but
she got smacked down.
Yeah. It's
little announcement. I just ordered the last 2 EU books I don't have.
Ooh, good job.
So now the rest of the EU is on its way.
Yeah.
So I don't have to buy Star Wars books anymore. Yay.
Right. Now you just need like the young readers and stuff if you want to just, you know, complete a collection.
Yeah, but those aren't a priority. But still.
Yeah.
If I find some cheap now and again, I'll add to the collection, but not at the rate I've been going for the last 2 years with the novels.
Yeah. And then Tim says, and this discussion, you mean you're not EU shields?
Yep. Yeah, we actually criticize the EU sometimes if you find something.
Exactly. You know, we point out the discretions and stuff, like even with Dark Empire, you know, when we realize that the Rise of Skywalker is, you know, basically a laughable version of the Dark Empire. And even before that and the PT came out, you know, we all discussed at one point with someone how, you know, it began to contradict or didn't make sense, even though there's points and elements that we may like in it, you know. So I mean, you know, there are flaws. So Warren Perkins, and the only Sith Lord that achieved immortality was Vitiate, the ruler of 3 empires. Let's see here. Anybody else here? Let's see here. I didn't say she wasn't known, or she wouldn't have known Luke. I am just saying that she was devastated. She was at Endor. All rebels knew Luke. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that we were trying to contemplate, is like, when I watched the first season and when we seen Cara Dune being introduced, I got the impression that she came in after to clean up, you know, Endor, like after the battle, and, you know, finish off what was left and clean up and stuff. So that's the impression. So I did watch the video and stuff, and I keep forgetting that, you know, she wasn't exactly at the battle. So it's very interesting how that goes.
She would have to clean up the broken ATSTs that got destroyed by lumber.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So, you know, I'll share that video on Twitter of yours of Cara Dune after we're done here. So, but yeah, exactly.
Everyone goes sub to Open Airlock policy though, because he's knocking it out of the ballpark with those Star Wars videos.
Yep. And I'm sorry, to my channel, I've been so busy I haven't been able to produce any videos. I'm looking at finishing or doing that Jaina Solo standalone story that's right after was it Crucible or, you know, Fate of the Jedi or whatever. But yeah, that's a great little short story I want to share with you guys. So I'll do a review on that one here pretty quick. Lady Tauriel, and thank you for being a member of my channel, you guys. I do have membership, and maybe I'll do a membership review of that with you guys. And then after that, like a day after, then I'll make it public to everybody instead of doing a video review. So let me see. That might be your guys' the members treat, is getting to go through the story with me. All right. So Lady Tauriel, the New Republic is on the shelf here, not selling.
Yeah, she told me that she'd seen a lot of New Republic stuff, but they weren't selling. They're just sitting there.
Yes, exactly. And we have here Soul Assassin Stig's collection is complete. He's a lore master now.
Well, it's more like I live in a library, but a lot of the books in the EU that I read before, it's been almost 20 years ago. So I remember the broad strokes, like in the New Jedi Order, but I don't remember which book had what.
Yeah. All right, we have Matt G with a 149 super sticker. I don't have my another screen open to see exactly what that sticker is. I wish I could see it on the side here in the chat on StreamYards, but I can't. But thank you so much for the super sticker. Usually I get the morning chats. I do get like the coffee, cheers kind of sticker. So if that's that, then thank you. If not, then thank you anyways. Open airlock. If they don't know Luke, he isn't the hero archetype. These people at Lucasfilm. Yep.
Good point.
Exactly. And people who defend that, like, oh well, maybe, and this is what I've gotten. Maybe the Rebel Alliance wanted to keep Luke a secret.
Yeah, you know what? Some guy said they wanted to keep Luke a secret so he could function better as a pilot. Yeah, it's like because if everyone knew who he was, the TIE fighters would focus on him. And think about that. They can recognize the face of a pilot in an X-Wing at the speed they're flying while he's wearing a helmet and goggles. Really? That's
Soul Assassin. I know that's stupid. That's a stupid explanation. But anyways, Soul Assassin. I think the Ewoks did the cleaning with all the barbecues and trooper helmets.
Actually, that's a good point too, because the Ewok had cleaned up.
Yeah. Hello, Matt. Exactly. We do see that at the end of Return of the Jedi. What?
If Cara Dune was in charge of the cleanup, why didn't they clean up that huge chunk of the Death Star?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's cleanup. It's still there.
You would think that the remaining moons that are around there that are inhabitable and has atmosphere and stuff, that they would go and check to other species and stuff that may live on there and the impact and all that. You think they would do a surveillance of the wreckage and stuff?
Yeah, they would.
So, it was a Doomacorn. Thank you so much. Thank you.
What is it? Doom de doom doom doom.
Doom de doom doom doom. There you go. There we go. Did a classic Mary Doomacorn. All right, so Holocron Library Fox. Talk about living in a library.
All I need is a bed and books.
There you go.
Well, I need a toilet too and a shower.
And a little bit in the refrigerator. Then you're living your best life.
Maybe I should put like a bookshelf up in the bathroom next to the toilet.
Oh, well.
Just sit there and read.
With your pants off and just sit there for hours and read.
Yep.
Wow. Oh my God. All right. So, bruh.
You know what? I used to do that when I was a kid.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Yeah, because I had comics with me.
It
was like a little pile of comics in the bathroom. And bathrooms are quiet, right? You're left alone.
Yeah.
Complete quiet and really relaxing. And I used to just sit there and read.
All right. That's, well, I guess whatever, like I said, live your best life. Live your best life. Yeah. All right. Bruh.
Keep in mind, I was like 10 years old or something.
Well, we got to remind too that, he was basically in a helmet in his briefs and goggles, swimming goggles, playing the X-Wing games. There you go.
Well, yeah, we don't have to bring that up every time.
Again, live your best life. All right. So, bruh, didn't you go to the Ewok village party? It was lit. Even Red 5 was there.
Yeah.
And then the real Kim Shady. Ewoks went from sticks and stones to blaster rifles. That's a gigantic leap in technology for them. Laugh out loud.
Yep. Big
And then
time.
Lady Tauriel, what are having for the barbecue again? What are we having for the barbecue again? I guess that's what she's trying to say.
As stormtroopers, I believe.
Yes, and Stig's library is the one from Last Crusade. And then Jefferson W. Stig's right about bathrooms.
Yeah, it is quiet. I mean,
well, I know. Well, that's where we hear, and I don't know. I don't think kids may do it nowadays, but like growing up, like my male cousins and stuff, that's where they would find their dad's like Playboy and stay in there for hours. Okay, so I get it.
I didn't have Playboy.
Okay.
But I did have my very own little bathroom.
Oh,
because we had one on the first floor, and that was next to my bedroom, and the main bedroom was on the second floor. Okay. So yeah, I had my very little thing.
Your very little thing? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can you see this comic here, or is it still black? The screen's still black.
No, I can see it. It's,
okay, good. All right. So now we're going to get into the origin of General Grievous. So again, if you really liked his character in the movies and in Clone Wars 03, Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, this is how he came to be. Very good story, very good origin story. Kind of gives us like the sick minds between Dooku and Sidious as well, because really it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, let's go on. So here we are. We are on the planet Kali, where he is from. And look how pretty that is. This art here, I think this is a very good artwork with the lighting, and all that. So very good perspective, atmospheric perspective. And there goes some of my schooling in the arts. And so we have them fighting here, and we know that he is a general, or he's a leader of his planet's forces, right? Are you there, Stig? Did I lose you guys? Hello? Oh, he must have stepped away because he's on mute. All right. I guess I was talking to myself. Ha, ha, ha. All right. So let's move on. Whoops. All right. So here we have basically, let me go back again. So basically, he's pursuing, he's fighting here. What's going on? We see a lot of action here. Not as similar art as we've seen from the last comic. So there's a lot of difference between the art styles and everything. But we do have battle going on here. And ships. Let's see here. Let's move on. So that ship there is the one Grievous is in. And it gets shot down. Right here, it goes into the water. There's fight that goes into the water. They try to retrieve it. And we see that we have Grievous right here, and he's near death. And what's crazy is that what city, I think this might be Sidious. I'm not sure if it is. It might be Dooku. I think it's Dooku. He has something in his hand, and he uses it to basically put him into shock or restart his heart, what have you. So this, at first I thought it was Force lightning. Then I realized that he was holding an instrument in his hand. And so he shoots that at Grievous here. And so he is checking him out and basically says that the heart stun, so it's basically a heart stun, will wear off shortly. When he awakens, he will begin to die. So basically they're prolonging his life there, but once he awakens and stuff, his body will continue to die, which gives us information about preserving him long enough to transform him, basically. So they load him up, they take him, and so basically they take him to Geonosis, from my impression here. for their experiment that they're doing. And so they have him in a bacta tank here. They start to reconstruct his body. They heal what's remaining of his body in the bacta tank. And basically, General Grievous says, I'm supposed to die with my troops. That's how we go down. That's the honors we do. And we have here a Mun, and I think his name is Sam Hill. And basically, he goes, we are, putting all this time and effort into you and stuff. And let's see here. So he continues to talk with him. So did Stig leave me for his bathroom? I think he went into his bathroom to go read. How are you guys doing here? Okay, good. Let's see here. And you have to kill Mini Kalish in Sotor. Yes. Let's see here. The ship gets shot down. Story of Grievous's life, right? Let's see here. Sounds like RoboCop used this, right? And let's see here. Right here. Also, used to have a Grievous heart as loot item from fighting Necrosis in SWG. Oh. And then we have Holocron laughing at my comment because Stig, are you there now? Are you still muted? I don't know if I lost him or not. Maybe he did go to the bathroom to hang out in peace and quiet. I think so. I to the reading room. Yep. Stig went to the reading room. It's not a bathroom anymore. It's a reading room. Stig left to find a new hiding spot for his porno mags. Oh my God. Stig, are you there? Answer me, Stig, please. All right, let's go back to the comic. All right. So basically, and this is a short story, but this is a good origin story. If you haven't wondered, if you don't know how Grievous was created, this gives it to you. So basically, Sam Hill tells him, you have awakened, my friend. Yes, very much alive, but your body has sustained nearly fatal wounds due to your accident. And, again, he reiterates that, I should have died with my troops. That's the honors we obtain and stuff. And, of course, he introduced himself and basically tells him, a very fortunate one, I might add, banking clan frigate accidentally picked up your escape pod emergency beacon in the Junua Sea. So I can't really see that. So I think it's Junua Sea. So basically he's telling him how he picked him up and stuff. And then basically tells him he's at Geonosis. And he's like, what? Geonosis? An honorable leader dies alongside his soldiers. And I order you to bring me back to Kali. Are you back with us, Stig?
Yes, phone rang.
All right. We figured you went to take a quiet break in the bathroom with a comic real quick.
No, I would have stayed in there for several hours because that would mean I'd be reading.
Yes, exactly. I was like, Stig, where are you? And I was like, he must have went to the bathroom. Just went to the bathroom.
Yeah, no. We'll see my sister calling.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. We kind of joked around about that. We thought we lost you to the bathroom.
Oh, fair game. It was well timed.
Yes, it was well timed. I'm like talking to you, and I'm like, Stig, are you there? And I go back and look at the string in your stream, and you were muted. And I'm like, oh, he left us for the bathroom.
Yep. No.
Like, forget this shit. I'm gonna go in the bathroom and read myself.
Yeah, I was like, shit, that sounds fun. Bye, Laura.
Yeah, bye. Bye, bitch. All right. So we're in the part of the comic where he's in the Bacta tank, and Sandhill, the Mun, is telling him how they found him and how Grievous is like, generals, basically, we die alongside our soldiers. Leaders die alongside their soldiers, and he's wanting him to be taken back. So we're that part of the comic right now. So do you want to say anything added to that?
No, I think it's Sand Hill is one we just see a little glimpse of, and in the episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an inhuman asshole.
Yeah. And then he's basically telling him, how touching, Journal. Do you really think the IBC would go through all that trouble only to let you die? You would not even survive a journey back to Kali. So basically, they're reconstructing him. He's in the process of it. We see him in the back to where he's healing what's left of his body, basically.
Which isn't much.
Not much at all. Not much at all. And I think this is so, even though the art's very different, this right here, even though you don't see the whole extent of the lab or the medic room that they're in, the focus is on the Bacta tank itself. So that it draws your eyes to the scene and to what's going on with General Grievous and Sandhill talking with him.
And it's almost as if we're seeing the only thing Grievous can see, because his vision would be impaired a bit.
Exactly. And then what good is an amputee in the heart of the battle? So basically he's like questioning what they're doing to him, and also to his state, basically his state of being, which basically is next to nothing right now.
Yeah, and there's some of the diversity they're screaming for, disabled people in Star Wars. There you go. Grievous and Vader, right?
Right, because they do need their cybernetics to keep them alive.
Yeah, Luke's hand,
Mm-hmm.
the main hero of the OT, is technically disabled.
Exactly. He has, mechanic appendages now. Basically just like getting like a leg and stuff like that if you're amputated and stuff. So basically the same thing. All right. So let's go ahead to go to the next page. Yeah, it got quiet, and I was like, what the hell happened to Stig? Yeah. So perfect timing. We got to joke about you a little bit. It was fun.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It is. Touchy.
You're not touchy, feely.
Nah.
All right.
I'm taking names, though. I'm looking through the chat.
Oh, okay. So that you could counter remarks?
No. Have a little list.
Uh-huh. That's very evil, Stig. Very, very evil. All right. So basically, they continue on with their conversation here. He's convincing him, basically, in fact, your new abilities may surpass even that of any Jedi. So he's starting to talk to him about what they're doing, what their plan is with him, all of that. And then the sooner I return to exterminating Hux colonies, the sooner I can redeem. And so basically, he's kind of revealing what they're doing to him. There's a little bit of manipulation going on here. You
know what this is?
What is this?
It mirrors episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
Vader's discussion with the other Moffs about technology being superior to the Force.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing with Grievous.
Yeah.
They think the machine will surpass a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some good mirroring.
Yeah, that is.
If it was intended, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, even if it wasn't intended, that's a great catch still. I mean, literally. But, we do have Nixu in here. So here's a Nixu.
Yep.
So, and it's a pet, and you can have them as pets as well.
Yeah, so, Alana has one, doesn't she?
Yeah, Alana Solo, that's her pet. Yep. Even and then her Gamma gets scratched by one in Attack of the Clones in the arena.
Yeah.
So there we go. So basically, they begin to recreate General Grievous, and he's right now he's in the position of not liking what's going on. He still has I guess you could say, I wouldn't say morals, but how his upbringing as a general or as a leader in his for his soldiers and stuff in his planet or what have you.
He has a code.
Exactly. There you go. He has a code. And so we have one of the Geonosians right here, Count Dooku. The general has willingly agreed to join our revolution based on your and as assumed he would. So basically, General, we know who is in charge of this now, and it's Dooku. So you want to say anything about what's going on here, Stieg? Because we do have an important one down in the bottom here that we're going to get to here.
Yeah,
So.
that's Dooku's basically discussing the whole thing with them, but we do get to see Cypher Diaz.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let me go ahead and zoom in on that part here. Make sure I don't flip the page. So there he is. There's Cypher Diaz, and basically he's keeping him alive by giving him blood transfusion. Isn't that interesting? And doesn't he appear later on in the lore as well?
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
I just don't remember exactly where. Because it's been a while since I read about him. So anybody in the chat, please answer that, because I believe he does. I just don't remember where. So, but he does for a short time. But he's keeping him alive in this little
It's weird that he let him have his lightsaber in there, though.
Exactly. You would think that he wouldn't have that because if he does somehow awaken, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I think they just did that for aesthetics of like how it looks and to confirm who he is or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. But there's Master Cypher Diaz right here, and he's keeping him alive, which I thought was kind of fascinating but weird at the same time. So, I mean, why? Why would you think he would?
Well, don't they put Cypher Diaz's blood into Grievous?
True. I mean, they think they do because there's transfusions and stuff going on.
Yeah, because I remember all those theories about Grievous actually being Cypher Diaz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the thing, too, back in the day.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that debate.
Oh, Soul Assassin said Cypher Diaz shows up in the Plagueis book. Yes, he does.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. And then so we have General Grievous now here. He's sitting down. He's out of the Bacta. We don't get the extent of his full body form just yet. So that's a mystery right here. But we all know. If you read the lore, if you watch the movies, you know what he looks like. So they're over here talking about basically what his role is going to be in from now on within the what is it called? The Confederate of
Confederacy of Star Systems? Was that
something like that? Yeah, something like that.
I can't remember. It's the Separatists.
Yeah, the Separatists. I always say Separatists, but I was trying to be more technical, but that failed. So here we go. So they're having their discussion here, how he'll lead droids and all this. And so basically we have Dooku talking and convincing and, and I guess you could say conditioning him for this. So it's conditioning. So he's going through his conditioning. And then now he's talking with Sidious here. And he goes, Master, the experiment has exceeded my expectations. His honor and nobility have been eclipsed. Is that what it says? Eclipse. Yeah. And by our cold vengeance and unparalleled rage, and we have, his Grievous's eyes right here, which I really like this artwork of his eyes, like close up right here. Beneath the nearly indestructible shell, lives a strategic mind of a general. So basically he's telling him that they succeeded in stuff. Which is kind of shocking in, the Clone Wars. He's supposed to be a general, but he's probably the dumbest one on the show. Yeah. And here they coin him as the most brilliant and evil, strategic, and all that. But so there was a huge regression, just like with Barriss Offee. There was a huge regression in character. And even with Quinlan Vos. So these main characters right here that we grow to love in these comics are basically downsized or bastardized. And that's how I feel about it. If you don't agree with me, fine. But you really got to take a look at the bigger picture here. This is evidence right here. Evidence.
Yeah. So. Becky in the chat is...
Hi, Becky.
educating us. She says it's the Confederacy of Independent Systems. She's
There we
spot
go.
on. That's what
There
it
we
was.
go. I always say separatists, and I would never say that. So thank you so much. I always just say separatists because it's the easiest one, or it's just who they are. Yeah. If you can go the political route, separatists because they're separating from the Republic, basically. And so we see General Grievous's training right here. So we have that. We see his training and everything, and in action. So there's nothing really need to expand on here, other than we're seeing how well he was put together, engineered, basically, because he is engineered. And
we get to see his, those elite guard droids or whatever they call.
Yeah.
They actually look cool, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked the design of those.
Okay.
I thought the cloak was redundant, but still, they look cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could do without the cloak, and they still look awesome. I agree. So, all right. So let's move on here. And so, so we have, General Grievous, and we have him, kind of corresponding with these droids, kind of showing how heartless and basically robotic he is now, in a sense. That's what I got from this.
If you think about it, though, you wake up and your eyes, your heart, and your brain is the only thing left.
Mm-hmm.
And you're inside a mechanical body. That has to mess up your mind.
Yeah. Exactly. There's a lot. He did go through a lot of conditioning and all of that in here. And then we have Dooku talking with Sidious as, General Grievous's, training, etc. And basically he goes, yes, be mindful of any problems the experiment may breed. And he goes on to say, this bionic technology may prove to be useful tool for the dark side in the years to come. And
hint, Vader.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing in the prequel trilogy that I thought George did well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have, if you don't count Palpatine, who's the main villain, all of his three henchmen. You have Maul, Dooku, and Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
Darth Maul is basically consumed by anger and hatred.
Correct.
Dooku is a fallen Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And Grievous is a cyborg. Put them together, you get Vader.
Yeah.
Vader's all of them. And Vader's fall also happens in that order.
Yeah.
Because Anakin gives into anger with the Sand People, and then he becomes a fallen Jedi with Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
And then cyborg.
Yeah. Yeah, very good analogy. Very good catch. And one thing I missed is that it is also said in here, and I skimmed over it, but basically another thing that Dooku tells Sidious here is that he basically is narcissistic, where he keeps on changing his appearance a little bit with his mechanics and stuff. And maybe that's just a cheap way of explaining how in different scenes or different stories he kind of looks different.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would.
Yeah. So I caught that. I was like, oh, because you see how he looks in the Clone Wars, both versions versus the movies and versus these comics and stuff. So we have slight variances of how he looks. So, and then at the end, he goes, I am General Grievous. So basically at the end here, he says, I am not a droid. And then at the end, he goes, I am General Grievous.
Yeah, it's basically, he's something unique. Exactly.
And he doesn't see himself as a droid. He sees himself as himself, so he says, look at Becky with the motherfucking lore.
Yeah, Becky knows a ton of Star Wars.
Yeah, she does. Yep. And let's see here. Will Gentry, they, not he. Now I corrected your misgendering. Show me the fatal wound you got. Oh, you died. Everybody's going to now make fun of that stupid High Republic comic pronoun correction.
Yeah.
You know, in the original lore, you know, we have the various different species or societies that have like hive mind kind of ordeal.
Which is exactly like the SJWs. They have hive minds.
Yeah.
Same as the Disney fans.
Yeah, and the thing is, in the original lore, it's done perfectly fine. Everybody was fine with it because there was none of this pronoun correction kind of bullcrap we see today. We just knew that it was their character and all that, but there wasn't like this political correction going on. And if you want to say it's political correction, I kind of see it as that because I mean, if you associate yourself as something or whatever, like with your sexuality orientation or gender orientation, that is you, you know. But I mean, seriously, you don't go around, you know, correcting people because they have no idea. I mean, I don't know. It's just I disagree with it in a sense. I think it's crazy.
I have a little kind of like a scoop though.
Okay.
You know how they want LGBTQ inclusion in Star Wars representation.
Yeah.
We have one in episode 4. It's the first movie because hermaphrodites fall under LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And Jabba the Hutt is a hermaphrodite. Because Hutts get to pick their gender.
Yeah.
Basically. So I wouldn't say that's good representation. Still, it falls under LGBTQ.
Yeah.
It's not one of the letters, but it's still included.
Yeah.
So there you go, episode 4 and 6.
Correct.
That's just me being technical, though.
But no, but you have a point there. I mean, that's a great point to make, and I think people do realize or fail to realize there was representation. It wasn't like screamed in our face; it was just beautifully done and accepted.
Yeah, and what's her name, Juhani in Knights of the Old Republic, she's bisexual.
Yeah,
because she's attracted to Revan, whether you play Revan as a female or a male.
Yeah.
So that's definitely bisexual. That's the B in LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And then you have the guy who is he's gay, a gay Mandalorian who trains Jaina Solo. I forget his name though, but very important character. He's openly living with a guy. Gay relationship. And no outcry. The fans didn't give a shit because it was well written.
Exactly. It was well written. It wasn't like forced in your face, like to where you need to accept. It was just there. And I think that's how life is like, whether you like it or not, it's there, right? But I mean, my sexual orientation is not your business, really.
Yeah,
and you know,
if you're blowing up the Death Star, nobody gives a damn who you sleep with. You know, it's about the guy or lady or whoever it was.
Luke, what's your sexual orientation? We want to know who you last slept with. Luke, please tell us.
Yeah, so we can make fan art.
That's funnier than heck. So I'm going to share this right here. Let me go ahead and zoom on it a little bit closer if I can. Maybe not. All right. So this goes to what we're talking about with writing a story based on the plot, not worried about like political agenda.
You're sharing all kinds of shit, by the way.
It's okay right here. It's fine. Whoops. I need to zoom in on this, and this is as far as I can go. So here it is. You know, Starlog, we all notice the lack of women in Star Wars trilogy. Are you going to bring more women in the future of Star Wars film? Lucas, well, what of Princess Leia? When you're making a war film, how are you going to put women in it? Think of other war films. Think of The Longest Day. Those films, well, it's your galaxy. I have to go with the rest of the world and still make it believable. I'm not sure how many women will be in the rest of the films. That's the kind of thing the plot dictates. What would Star Wars be like if Han would have been a woman?
Yeah.
And he has a great point. It's about the plot and what's going on with the story, not about political agenda with gender or pronouns or race or whatever, because he's going with what the plot dictates. And
If Han had been a chick, he would have been Hen Solo.
Han Solo? Why is that?
A hen, it's a female chicken.
Oh, okay. You and your chicken obsessions.
Yeah, well, we need to support Wedge and Wilkins.
Wedge and Wilkins. Wedgie Wilkins. Oh, I didn't see him come in today. I hope he's doing okay. Wilkins, not Wedge.
He's enjoying opium and the shed behind his house.
Oh my God. Oh goodness, here we go. But anyways, so basically George, he did bring in, diverse actors and actresses and what have you. Look at we have Lando, and when Lando was reading the script, it didn't really, the description of the character, he said sounded like Italian or something like that. I forget which origin or which race or whatever. But he was casted for it and he played it what was needed for the character. So I mean, there's an interview, and I wish I would have saved the clip of the interview about him saying, what Lando Calrissian sounds like with character and origin and all that. And he didn't say, oh, well, I'm playing what looks to be a white guy. That wasn't the concern. The concern was just playing the character on how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want anyone except Billy D. Williams playing Lando.
Yeah.
The guy was perfect for the part. I mean, he nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid, Lando was absolutely one of my favorites because he had a gun and he had a cape. Had the action figure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lando was he was easily in my top 3. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hello, Michael T. High Desert Comics. He goes, hail nerds. Got that right. We're nerding over Star Wars here. Yes, and what about Alexander the Great? He was sleeping with everyone. Nobody cared. Yeah, true. Mara Jade. Let's see here. And then his targeting computer is off. Luke, we can't see your pronouns. Are you all right?
Yeah. Your toxicity levels are growing.
Yes.
Tell us your pronouns.
Yeah. Confirm, please. Your system is failing.
Yeah. Put the pronouns in the bio before it's too late.
You can't make an accurate shot. Are you okay? Share your pronouns. Okay. That was fun. All right. So Assassin, make sure the force push that like button.
And you have Tarkin going, list up our pronouns in our moment of triumph.
Oh, that was a good one. Yes. Let's see here. Henpecked Solo. There you go. All right. Jack Porkins would be proud of your comments to Chicken Stig. Don't you dare apologize. Okay. There we go. And then The Longest Day, I can't think of any female in that.
Yes, there is one. The Resistance lady.
Mm-hmm.
I think she almost gets drowned in a river or something.
Oh, that's not fun.
Cry me a river.
Cry me a river and then drowned in it. All right. Yes. And Billy did great soda commercials. He was fun. All right. So Bicky, hey, OG Star Wars, what comic was that one with Grievous? That one was, what was the name of it again? It's from Visionaries. Let me see here. I'll go back to it. Let's see here. I think it was page 43. Oh, okay. I will get that for you right now, darling. I don't have the name right off. It's The Eyes of Revolution. There we go. Eyes of Revolution. So there you go, darling. And we do have a super chat from Terminus. Stig, on Casual Rage, you talked about people wanting us to see their diaries. So if they lose their shit, When we don't want to, they must have diarrhea. Diarrhea. Is that what he's saying?
Diarrhea.
Yeah,
As
I
in
think he was
diarrhea.
Yeah, diarrhea. Yeah, diarrhea.
That would make it shit spelling.
Yes, correct. There you go. All right. So Michael T. Beep Bop Boop Base 1. Initiate his remote self-destruct. And then, oh crap, it jumped and I was trying to click. Here you go. Soul Assassin gives you the chickens, Stig. There you go. All for you, chickens.
Yeah. Save them for Wilkins.
Shane Nolan. Oh, yes. And then we have Stig. Does the resistant lady get drowned in the river of gender fluid? Oh, probably. And thank you, Abu Nas, for coming in a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Listen in a bit while I'm on lunch, and boy, did I miss seeing you back at your normal day and time. Coffee Chat is the premiere show on Thursdays, and I'm here for all of it. Sending love your way. Enjoy as I go back to work. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We had a great discussion on continuity with these comics here. Great discussion overall with, the arcs of these comics as well. So catch it on the replay. Thank you again for coming in. And then again, thank you for the $5 super chat. Terminus, I know I read it without announcing what it was. Let's see here. Diarrhea, probably. All right. So let's see here. And then hail to all my friends in the chat. Hope you're all doing good and have a great day. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work. Enjoy your day at work, and thank you for popping in for the time frame to listen to what you can. You guys, your support and everyone here, all 21 of you, thank you guys so much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. And we are now coming to a conclusion here as well. So Stig, what did you think about the General Grievous origin story comic?
Short. I would have liked it to have been a full-blown comic, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is it's an important character, and it shouldn't be in something you just tag on in one of the Visionary comics.
Yeah.
It should have been part of the Republic.
I agree.
But overall, it was good. I thought the artwork fit the scene. Basically, it's pretty much almost like just a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
But you get to see how inhuman Dooku actually is.
Exactly.
Because he comes off as a nice older gentleman, really.
He has that gentleman stance, right?
Yeah.
Gentleman stance.
But he is he's a bit of a Satan, isn't he?
He is evil. He is brilliantly evil.
Yeah. And they found the right guy to play him, Christopher Lee.
Exactly. They couldn't have picked a better guy to, represent him as well. I agree. And I did enjoy that comic as well. I believe, yes, I agree with you. He should have been in the Republic. We could have got a little bit more in depth about, who he is, like when he was fighting there and how, he got discovered, and a little bit more about their plan on making a cyborg kind of character for the Separatists to lead the army. We could have got that fleshed out a little bit more. We could have got his thoughts about him going from, full flesh and blood into a cyborg.
Yeah.
As well. Could have lent more to
they did it the way they did it, and I'm fine with it. But
great.
I wouldn't have complained if they did it differently. Let's put it that way. But I'd still give it like a 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly good for what it is.
Correct. Yes, it is. Soul Assassin, didn't the Clone Wars cartoon do an shout out to Grievous' backstory in one of the episodes? I believe so.
Yeah, I actually think they, for once, Filoni actually followed the lore, which is probably because it was just like 7 or 8 pages, so he could probably follow that.
How many? I know he had a few writers that helped write the Clone Wars under him. So It might have been one of those that really was like, let's go ahead and honor the lore this time, because I know that, Filoni produced and he helped write, but I know he had a few writers, like 5 or 6 of them that helped write the series as well. So, all right, Terminus. Laura, have you been playing KOTOR yet? I started it, but then I jumped to Dark Forces, which I've been slowly getting into. So I will let you guys know. And he goes, I'm playing Sator, Abu, Ryan, Kennel, and Lethal recommended it. Yeah. All right. Have you played Sator?
No, I don't like playing online games.
Okay.
When I'm playing video games, especially role-playing games,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I want to get immersed in the story and stuff, and I don't want to see, characters running around that are called, 666 I owns you and stuff like that. It takes me out of the game.
Yeah.
So it's a preference thing. I'm sure it's fun to play with friends and all that, but if it's story based, I wanna enjoy the story in my own pace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair enough. Like the online gaming is not for everybody. Okay, so there we go. It jumped on me when I was trying to click on here. Steven Saucedo, thank you for coming in. Hey, OG. Hey, Stig. Good morning. Good morning. We're about ready to conclude the show here. And so go ahead and...
Holocron Library Fox says he saw Lee in one of his nice guy roles. He said it was unreal. Christopher Lee said that the best role he ever played was when he played the founder of Pakistan. Jinnah, I think it's called. Yeah, he plays a Pakistani in a biopic, and he nails it. And that movie never really got shown a lot because for political reasons.
Yeah.
So it got
Isn't
swept
that crazy?
away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
isn't that crazy?
But he is actually very good at playing good guys too. It's just with his height and his voice, he tended to get villain parts, but he's actually very good at comedy too.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. All right. So we're going to go ahead and conclude this here. It's coming up 11 my time, Pacific Standard Time. Again, I want to thank everyone that came in to participate in live stream reviewing the comic and going over it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this encouraged those who don't have the comic to go ahead and pick up the collection. We are now into Clone Wars Volume 3 in the collection. And Stig usually likes to research to see if it's still available or if it can be found cheaper than what other buyers are offering or people are offering for it.
Volume 3 is still possible to get. For some reason, people charge an arm and a leg for Volume 2.
Which we just got done reviewing, but from reviewing it, it is friggin' amazing.
Oh, yeah, but so was Volume 1.
Yes. So for whatever reason why they're charging an arm and leg for that, we can't really explain. But this is to encourage you to go find these collections, even if you don't buy the Epic collection that they have now published under the Legends banner. Find them, add them to your collection. If you have them, we encourage you to have, follow along as we review them. And so if you, want to, contribute in the chat further to our review and breakdown, what have you, then you can. We encourage the read along. So if you have them, read along.
You can also get them on Kindle.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is the whole purpose of that. And I've been enjoying reviewing these comics with Stig and reading them and sharing them with you guys on live stream for Coffee Chat. It's been such a great adventure reviewing this and having fun with you guys as well. And so next week, we're going to review the next 2 comics in the Republic, 69 and I think 70. We haven't really gone over that yet. or if there's going to be another standalone story that we can pick up that kind of goes along with, either character development, like we showed Grievous, or not. So that will be shared. I know we're doing Comic 69, which is another epic story in the Republic. And so stay tuned for that as well. So Stig, where can we find you at?
Here on Thursdays, and on Sporking's channel on Mondays for Game of Thrones talk. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And Soul Assassin likes the word 69. We are going to 69 the next comic. Okay. 69, how spicy. Yep, it's number 69. 69. His film career goes back to the 50s swashbuckling pirate movies. Yeah, so he's talking about Chris. Yeah. All right. So again, you guys can find me here. The next lore video will most likely be the Jaina Solo short story, and that takes that's after, I believe, Crucible. I believe. I could be wrong. It could be after Fate of the Jedi. Either or. It's a story that seems to basically be a bridge to the Sword of the Jedi that we're supposed to get. From reading it, I think that's exactly what that is about. And so I'll be, I'm thinking about doing a membership review with you guys and then making it public afterwards. So those who are members, please be on lookout for that. And if you're not a member and you want to join in, you can be a Padawan or a youngling. I think I said Padawan, or a Jedi Knight or a Jedi Master, and all, no matter what your take is, your, I guess you could say your support is with that, you'll still be invited to that. All right. And I do have one super chat here before we close out. Thank you so much, Culture Casino, for joining us. $5 super chats. Thanks for staying true when it comes to the original Star Wars. Love ya. Thank you, Culture Casino, for your support. And you do have my support as well. You do have some awesome videos. You guys go ahead and check out his channel if you haven't subscribed. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. All right. So thanks again, you guys, for joining in, and I will see you next Thursday with Stig. And then we do have the literature review coming up, and that schedule will be announced here within the next couple of days. So stay tuned. It is Shadowhunter, so you do have time to still pick up the book and either listen to it on Audible or read it. It's not very long, but it's a great story. It's slowly starting to change my mind about Darth Maul, which I didn't expect. Has a great, wonderful ending. I will not give spoilers out, but it's freaking amazing. So you guys pick it up. And it is Shadowhunter, Darth Maul Shadowhunter. And thank you again. And you guys have a great day, and may the Force be with you.